Look, this is just a sad situation all round. It seems like Baby Uiie was really going through some stuff before he passed away. There were more tweets that we couldn't recover, but like I saw some really disturbing stuff. Just another kind of back-to-back bunch of posts that seem to refer to like stealing and begging for money and talking about how he's using his dad. He put, this seems to be some surveillance footage he put up. It says breaks into people's houses, steals and breaks everything, then snitches. This is like a Zelle request. He's basically saying just confirm that you sent a request from Zelle for $40.
What's the word with the politickers? Harry Potter did some digging and found some old tweets from Baby Uiie. It's a lot going on for sure. Enough to confuse the sorcerer of stones. Trap Lord believed it's Baby Uiie speaking in third person, due to his mental illness he was suffering from. I think it's an ex-girlfriend or a former homie by the way they type it in a few of these posts, with the GK and all the ebonics going on and whatnot. Majority of this shit opinions of his character by the person typing. Some of it plain Jane receipts. My reach don't go as far as Trap Lord Ross yet, but I think he got it wrong on this one by a long shot. So I'm here to get my perspective on things. First and foremost, this solely on the tweets and his state of mind before his demise. Nothing surrounding his death or his case. Trap Lord legend Uiie was set up by an evil side chick. I don't know. Rest in peace, Baby Uiie, though.
Seems like right after his passing, right after we'd kind of put together some things from his Twitter, his whole Twitter has been deleted. Now, we've actually managed to recover some of those tweets. I'm not going to show you all of them because some of them aren't really necessary, but I would say that this is actually like quite insightful because it did seem like even before Big U himself had been arrested, it did seem like he was going through it. Like Baby Uiie was going through it mentally. He was going through some tough times. And it does make you think, you know, maybe that's part of the reason. Like maybe mentally he was suffering. He wasn't feeling so good about himself. And maybe that was a reason that he was, you know, going to dangerous places, maybe not looking out for his safety so much, you know. And that's no disrespect, but that's really just me trying to point out that like this guy was clearly battling some demons. And maybe he had kind of, you know, maybe he was over trying to move correctly. You know, you see a lot of these situations where people seem to kind of like get themselves in a real bad situation mentally, and it winds up leading them to kind of like be very reckless. It's almost like a form of self-harm where it's like they don't really care what happens to them at a certain point. Now, look, there was a whole bunch of tweets that he had posted, okay, him talking about his mental health and posting medical records. Now, what's really weird is I noticed from a lot of Baby Uie's tweets, it almost seems like he's talking about himself in the third person. Like he's always putting himself down and talking about himself in the third person. It says, how are you a schizo bipolar and you don't take your meds no more? I'm calling San Pedro. And then he's basically, you know, posting what seems to be like hospital reports. And what's really interesting here is it basically says that like it says here, you know, he's struggling with anxiety, and it says he's denying any suicidal or homicidal ideation, but he's basically not feeling too well and he's looking for a prescription. He's come in with a laceration and serious anxiety. He's dealing with a lot of difficult, you know, things going on, and he's basically posting that he's got a history of psychiatric disorder and generalized anxiety. He said that he was punched in the head yesterday and bled from his ear. He's not suicidal, but you know, he basically would like to see a therapist, and he's going through a lot. He's gone to the hospital to try and get the blood drained out of his ear after getting this injury. So he was kind of quite out there when it came to actually posting stuff, you know, about what he was going through in his mental state. And in this post, this one's quite alarming, right? So in this one, he basically seems to be talking about his father, Big U, being a killer. Okay, he says his daddy a killer. He wanna be Junior. He must have forgot about that stuff he done. Dementia must run in his family, but let it get shaky, I'm parking his son. Okay. Now, look, I know these are the lyrics from Kendrick Lamar's Euphoria, but it's the fact that he's putting this, like, I get it, okay? Some people are going to say, oh, it's cap, he's just posting lyrics from Kendrick Lamar's song, but his actual daddy is being accused of murder. The fact he's posting this is cryptic, but it kind of is what it is. Like, I feel like he's putting out these messages. He's definitely crying for help in some of these posts. And this was another post. This was a series of images that he posted, and it seems like he's kind of putting himself down. There's a picture of him in front of a wrecked Bentley, and then he's put, you know, a picture saying, with captions saying, untrustworthy, irresponsible, burnt out, crashes everyone's cars and has no money or insurance to pay for anything. Like, he kind of talking down on himself, but then posting this stuff. This is clearly somebody that's kind of, you know, just struggling with a lot of negative thoughts. He posted, his enabling mother lets him do whatever and supports him. His dad gave up and his siblings don't mess with him. Always got to do your research on these type of families and people. They'll try and hide everything about themselves. And again, he's basically posting his mental health appointment that's coming up. Obviously, if we go back to the last tweets that we posted, he was going through it mentally. He was looking for help. Unfortunately, he didn't get the help he needed. He said someone called San Pedro Mental Health where he needs to go and check in. They're looking for him. And then he posted his location, or the location of that, and he said he needs to go back here or back to jail. And then he posted again. He's saying, imagine having to call your family every time he would have an episode just so he doesn't kill you. If you're mentally ill, please take your meds and stop hurting pretty girls who don't deserve it, because nobody does. Hashtag domestic violence awareness. And he would come back with another kind of back-to-back bunch of image posts on Twitter, which again, these have all been deleted now, but they have been backed up from when the Twitter was still active. And this again is just another kind of back-to-back bunch of posts that seem to refer to like stealing and begging for money and talking about how he's using his dad. He put, this seems to be some surveillance footage he put up. It says breaks into people's houses, steals and breaks everything, then snitches. This is like a Zelle request. He's basically saying, just confirm that you sent a request from Zelle for $40. And he says, begs his rich friends for money and spends it on drugs. Posted this picture up. Okay. He said, big gum horse mouth can't respect no B who enables their son. Guessing this is his mum, knows about his issues and won't help it. Matter of fact, this is the same person who encourages him and says it's because she's white, not black. She's racist. Meanwhile, her husband cheats on her all day, every day. Like, this is crazy stuff to be putting out there. This is another one. It says post stuff like this, but caps, he doesn't pay a dime to his barbers. He's ruined all type of relationships with people. He used his dad's face card to get around, and it's failing him miserably. He depends on his mom and his little brother. He's a dusty bum. $100 haircut. You know, it's quite disturbing, just all of this stuff that he was putting out there. Now, one of the last photos posted on the account was this post here that I'm going to show you, and it's basically showing, man, yeah, it's actually crazy, man. So I can't even read that because I don't want to get banned from YouTube again. But it basically says, however you want to talking in the third person, should wear a costume too. He fit right in, acting like he gonna shoot something. Boy, with your scary ass. Y'all should see the shooting range video. Carl was scared to shoot a handgun indoors, shaking and stuff. Clown ass dude. Okay. And it's a picture of him, I guess, with some cosplayers at like I don't know if this was Comic-Con or something like that. But basically, he just took a picture with these folks on the street and just posted this crazy, quite strange incident, this strange caption, which is just, it's just quite disturbing. And just to think this is all the stuff that was going through his mind before he passed away, you know. I mean, this one's crazy too, right? He's posting a clipping from an LA Times article where it basically says that Big U's wife actually proposed to him 30 years after they got together, or 30 years after they'd previously got married in the LA County Jail. And oh no, so she proposed to him 30 years ago. That's what they're basically saying, all right? And she's saying that she proposed, and her and Big U got married in the LA County Jail in 1992 behind a glass partition in a hasty ceremony that was might or might not have been permitted by law enforcement. It was 10 minutes, no wedding dress, no pictures. And Baby U, he posted this. He said, not my mom, Big U wife proposing to him, desperate as F. But damn, all of that to get cheated on damn near every day is crazy. Sad story. Like, this is crazy that he's posting this about his dad and about his mom. Like, it's pretty extreme. Okay, so look, in the midst of all of this sad stuff going on, and you heard it yourself from those tweets, you know, Baby Uiie basically said that his own family doesn't mess with him anymore. But you know, essentially his brother Dion Henley, who plays for the Chargers, he's an NFL player. Clearly they weren't getting on, but he posted this kind of heartfelt post about Baby Uie's passing. He said, 2025 has brought me more pain than joy, and this one has been by far the biggest hit. My family's going to stand through the storm because that's who we are. I'm going to make sure that we're straight, big bro. I got nephew. Don't even worry about it. I love you. Allah blessed me with one more night with my big brother. Didn't know you'd be gone the next day. Forever, Uiie. Thank you for the love and the condolences. Truly means the world to me and the fam. We are fighters. So, look, this is just a sad situation all around. It seems like Baby Uiie was really going through some stuff before he passed away. There were more tweets that we couldn't recover, but like I saw some really disturbing stuff there that just made me think, man, this is somebody who was really dealing with a lot. Like, he really had a lot on his shoulders, and you know, he was really probably struggling with a lot of stuff. So I'm just so sad to hear that like he was going through all that, and you know, he didn't really get the help that he needed.
He possibly was going through some heavy mental things before his demise. We all get mentally fatigued or depressed sometimes. It's life. Y'all think he was saying this about himself, though? It don't make sense to me. I say somebody had access to his Twitter account and was trolling him or something. I could be wrong now. I'm sure it was other Kendrick Lamar lyrics or songs that he tweeted too. But some people just don't believe in coincidences at all. Everything happened for a reason. The tongue is powerful. A lot of times these songs were sing for joy or soundtracks to folks' lives. So it's no surprise when they play out in real time versus a 3-minute record. Hustle said niggas know this the real me. Cops hated so they hope my homies killed me. You can take Melly for prime example too. He wrote Murder on My Mind before his situation transpired. And it got to the point where folks said he wrote the song after he did the drill. I say that to say this. The Kendrick Lamar bars can damn well suit Uiie and Big U tailor-made. But a lot of lyrics fit us like a puzzle, whether it's true to us or a loved one. That's what make Timeless record special. The playback value priceless. Let me know what y'all think, man. Hype this video up. Hit the like button. Political street views? No, fake news.